Welcome to Hornbill TV, your English news bulletin. I'm Lashini Chesty. After witnessing a drop in COVID-19 cases for the past few months, Dimapur district on Wednesday saw a massive surge in new cases, with the commercial hub recording 187 fresh cases out of 199 in the state. In an exclusive interview with Hornbill TV, the Deputy Commissioner of Dimapur, Rajesh Sondararajan, who is also the chairman of the District Task Force for COVID-19, has informed that the surge is mostly due to returnees as well as random self-testing. Let's have a look at the interview with our reporter, Esther.
Rajesh Sondararajan, who is also the Deputy Commissioner of Dimapur, as well as the Chairman of the District Task Force for COVID-19. Thank you for being with us, sir. Sir, first of all, we have seen a huge surge in COVID cases the past few days in Dimapur. Out of the total cases, Dimapur has the highest number of COVID-19 cases. And why do you think the sudden surge of COVID cases is happening in Dimapur?
Yeah, in the last couple of days, we have been seeing increase in the number of COVID cases, and positivity rate is also fluctuating, and it's on the higher side in the last couple of days. One of the main reasons for this is that the returnees who have come back to the state from various other places, so there are a lot of positive cases among the returnees who have come back. So this has increased the number of cases. Apart from the returnees also, there is a slight increase in the number of cases through other testing whatever we have done. So this can be attributed to, of course, the increase in the number of cases everywhere in the other states as well. And so this is not a phenomenon which we are seeing only here, but of course it's a countrywide phenomenon, and because of the increase in the number of cases in the other places as well, and then movement of people keeps taking place between states and then between districts also. So this is one of the reasons why we are witnessing an increase in the number of COVID cases, and especially in Dimapur, because as you know, Dimapur is the main point of entry into the state. So whoever comes by air, by road, by train, so since Dimapur is the point of entry, and since we are getting all the people tested here, whoever is coming especially without the report, so that's why it's one of the reasons why the Dimapur number of cases, as usual, it's the highest in the state. And as I said, this is the trend we are seeing now. We are closely monitoring the trend, and then see how the trend behaves, and basing on that we will be coming up with whatever has to be done.
What is the plan of action of the DTF, the District Task Force, at this point of time? Exactly right now when it's rising, the numbers, but it's not as much to create panic. But what is the POA of the DTF?
Yeah, you must have seen the latest SOP issued by the state government also, and basing on that we have given the district specific SOP also. So we have come back with the restrictions. Of course, initially, because since the number of cases were less and there has not been any major positivity rate so far, so there were more relaxations. But now, since the number of cases are increasing, the High Court Committee had the High Court Committee has decided, and then the Home Department also had given the latest SOP. So we have restrictions on the gatherings now, the number of people who can attend, and then regarding the educational institutions and other things. So the restrictions are on now, and especially the DTF, we are closely monitoring the situation in Dimapur, and we have also convened a meeting on Saturday. This coming Saturday, that is day after, we'll be having the district task force meeting on COVID. So ours will be whatever the multi-pronged response, whatever has to be done at various levels. For example, we are closely monitoring the hospitalization cases, but the solace so far is that the number of hospitalization is very less. So that is one, I would say, that is we can just have at least a sigh of relief that most of the cases are either asymptomatic or with mild symptoms. So as of now, given this the nature of the cases so far, so now mainly we have to focus on the home quarantine and monitoring of the persons there. And apart from that, we whatever augmentation to medical facilities which was done in the district hospital and then the other COVID hospitals, whatever we came up with, we are ready with that also. And in case if we feel that the number of hospitalization is getting increased and if we are not able to manage the number of cases, then definitely all the available resources will be activated, the COVID hospitals and other things also. And if required, we'll as like the last time, the private hospitals also, they pitched in when the number of cases went up and when the district hospital was full and then overflowing with the number of cases. So we'll rope in the private hospitals also after discussing with them if necessary, I mean. So we are basically we are coming up with a response plan for all the scenarios, all the case scenarios. So and also as I said, the number of cases as for the number of hospitalization cases is concerned, it is very less as of now. So we are coming up with all the say the possible scenarios which can come, and then accordingly our response plan will be ready for any eventualities. But I can say that with our experience of the first and the second wave, and since under the initiative of the state government, lot of facilities were created, especially during the second wave. As I said, the COVID hospitals and then the other infrastructure and other facilities also. So we are ready with all the arrangements. So whatever is required, basing on the scenario, then we'll come up with response plan accordingly.
So will there be any government quarantine facilities as there was in the first two waves? This time also, would it depend on the number of cases, or is it already in plan that these quarantine facilities would be set up?
As I said, the cases which are asymptomatic and which don't need hospitalization, and if they have a place to stay, so as per the SOP, we are stressing on home quarantine for them, and the medical authorities will refer them for home quarantine, and there will be the surveillance and the monitoring cell. So from the medical department side, they'll be monitoring them, and cases which have severe symptoms, which needs hospitalization, they will be admitted to the hospitals. And if anyone who is not in a position to home quarantine themselves, they don't have a place to stay, for example, people from outside or very downtrodden people who are like daily wage laborers who don't have a place to stay, they don't have an option of home quarantine. We already have our COVID care centers in place. So if required, if the number of cases go up, and then if any person who is not in a position to home quarantine themselves, if they don't have a place to stay, then definitely we will let them stay in our COVID care centers. So that arrangement is already in place. So that should not be an issue.
Are there any containment zones right now in Dimapur, and if not, is there a need to have containment zones?
As of now, there is no containment zone as such, but as per the SOPs, if at all, if a need arises, if we feel that as per whatever the laid down norms is there, depending on the number of cases in that particular area, if we feel that one particular area is highly affected because of that, then we'll again come up with the containment zones. But as of now, there's no containment zone.
So, and about this daily markets and weekly markets, is there going to be any SOP on that front? Because a lot of people are visiting these markets, on a daily basis. So, would you like to give a statement on that?
So, of course, we have not taken a decision on it yet. But as I said, depending on the number of cases, seeing the positivity rate and the number of cases, if required, definitely there will be more restrictions. There may be restrictions on the non-essential services, or maybe some timing restrictions like the last time, and also it covers all the market activities and the weekly bazaars. It all comes in the one bracket of economic activities only. So as I said, we have not decided anything yet now, because now this is only starting now, and but nonetheless, as I said, we are continuously monitoring it, and we'll monitor the situation, and if we feel that the restrictions has to be put in place, then immediately we'll go for restrictions.
So in regard to the entry and exit points, that is in Dimapur bordering Assam and also, how are the procedures and protocols taking place? And especially because now that the government has said a negative RT-PCR plus the double COVID vaccination certificate is mandatory. So now is that being kept in check properly? And what about the porous points into Dimapur?
We have, of course, the airport is there, the railway station is there. Other than that, we have the two main gates, the Newfield check gate and the Delhi gate. And as per the SOP, we are even if the person has taken 2 doses of vaccination, but a negative COVID report is mandatory for anyone entering the state. So we have intensified our checking in all these points of entry, in airport also, in the railway station, and also in the two main gates. And we are checking for anyone who is coming in. We are checking for the negative report also. And if someone is not carrying a negative report, then we are taking the sample from them, and then we are doing the testing. So this is the this we have intensified in the last couple of days especially. We have reinforced our teams, and then so teams are there 24/7 in all these places, and so the we have intensified our checking as per the SOP in all the points of entry. And as far as the porous borders are concerned, there also we are putting our men in place. And if we feel that, because there are a lot of commuters into Dimapur and out of Dimapur, and there are some people who are working here, but then they are staying across the border. So we are also identifying them. If someone is carrying a valid ID card, he may be a government servant, or even he may be working in some private office also here. So we are checking all those things, and then basing on that we are filtering, and then we are checking people, and then we are as I said, we have intensified our checking. And as far as the airport is concerned, since there are limited number of flights, so with along with we in all the not only in airport, in other places also, we have our teams in place along with the persons from medical department. So our teams check people who are coming in, and testing is also done. And also we are also planning to conduct random testing also in high risk settings, like as you said, in the market settings, and then the market wherever the highly crowded market areas are there. We are like the last year, we are also now planning to conduct a random testing in all those high risk settings as well. So as I said, the DTF and all the government agencies, we are ready for any eventualities. So my request to the public is not to panic, but at the same time be responsible. So as we have been reiterating time and again from the state government level and also from the district level, the response to COVID is not only the responsibility of the government agencies, but it is a collective responsibility of all of us. So taking this opportunity, I would request the public, to all the concerned citizens, to adhere to all the COVID-19, whatever the safety precautions and the COVID-19 appropriate behavior which has been laid down from time to time. Wear a mask, don't venture out without wearing a mask, and also maintain social distancing wherever you go. Avoid unnecessary gatherings, avoid unnecessary meetings, and also wherever you are, and so your personal safety is your own responsibility in the first place. So let us all together in a collective way, let us adhere to all the COVID-19 appropriate behavior, so that we can all, definitely I'm very sure that collectively we can make our district a safe place. And also especially as far as the COVID is concerned, we can all have I would say a responsible behavior, and help the government agencies in putting down all the actions in place. Thank you.